Hi Flosstube, good morning. My name is Brijin and I am the museum stitcher and I'm here for my second Flosstube video ever. I know this is coming a little fast for you guys. It's only been a week since I posted my first video, but for me it's been 2 weeks. I sat on my video for about a week before I actually got up the courage to upload it, and I've had a lot of things that I finished and worked on and that I want to show you. So I figured I'd go ahead and come on a little bit early if that doesn't bother anyone, and I don't think it will. So thank you. Thank you, all of you, for actually watching me. It stuns me that people are actually interested in watching the crafts that I work on and are actually interested in my stitchy journey. I am blown away by the support that I've gotten in the last 7 days, because it's only been 7 days since my last video. So thank you to everyone who has shouted me out, who has followed me on Instagram, or subscribed to me here on YouTube, or left a comment, or just watched the video in general. I hope you liked what you saw and that you'll continue to kind of keep up with my stitchy journey. So thank you. And I have a more regular Flosstube video for you today. You know, a little bit more of an outline to follow. Finishes, FFOs, new starts, whips, all of the things. And I am really excited to get to show you what I've been working on. I did notice something on my last video. There was a bit of a coincidence on my upload date. I uploaded my first video on June 4th, and I was going back through my digital planner, and I actually realized that June 4th, 2021 is the first day I ever started cross stitching in my life. So I think it's pretty hilarious that my Flosstube anniversary will also be my stitching anniversary. And go me for doing that completely on accident. So, yeah. So I've been stitching for a little over a year now, I guess. That's a little crazy to me. It feels like I've been doing this for forever and not just for a year. But I'm super excited to show you what I have been working on. I have a couple of FFOs, one big finish, which I teased on my Instagram. I have a couple of new starts, a couple of whips. I have some haul that was inspired by some other Flosstubers that I watch, and then we'll talk about my plans and what I'm gonna do in between this video and my next one. So that being said, let's get into the stitching. I have 2 FFOs to show you. I'll go with this one first. This one is so cute. This is my first ever pillow finish, and here it is. It's so little. This is There's Probably by the Scarlett house. It says there's probably cat hair on this, and the actual pattern has a little bit of a top and bottom border, but I omitted it just because I didn't feel like stitching a border on this piece. I have a lot of pieces that have borders, and sometimes you just don't want one. There's also a companion piece when you buy the pattern that has an option for dog hair, but I have 2 cats, so the cat hair worked for me better. I've stitched this using DMC 37.7 words. I stitched this with DMC 3777, there we go, on a piece of 18 count Aida that I dyed myself. It's showing pretty true on camera. I actually stitched this 1/1, which I would not recommend doing 1 strand on 18 count Aida. It just doesn't show up that great, but it kind of gives it a prim look, and I thought for this little pillow it was fine. I was already halfway through the probably before I realized that I wanted more coverage, and so I wasn't gonna go back and restitch it when I had been close to finishing it. But yeah, it's this really cool mottled blue fabric that I just kind of got by playing around with my red dyes. I think it kind of looks like Hades from the Disney movie Hercules, which I think is kind of cool. And then I put some pom-pom trim on it, and it looks really cool. So this piece I started on March 3rd, 2021. This was actually car stitching for a road trip that I took with my family. I think Aida is the easiest to work on in the car for me personally, so I intentionally planned on doing this piece because it only had 1 color floss and it was on Aida, so it was super easy to stitch in the car with this piece. And then I finished it, when did I finish it? I finished this one on April 7th, so it took me just a little over a month to do this while working on other projects. And then I followed the pillow tutorial from Vonna Pfeiffer, and it turned out amazing. Here's the back. It's this amazing little sun-dotted fabric flower thing from Teresa Kogut's Nature line, I think. I don't know what it's called officially. Obviously, it's not perfect. Like, this corner I accidentally poked through, so it's not the best finish in the world. This is Lady Dot Creates Pom Pom in the shade Sizzle. And it matched pretty well, I thought, for the back fabric with the little red and with the red floss. I don't know, I just thought it looked kind of cool. I will say the Lady Dot Pom Pom is super easy to use. I followed a tutorial on how to apply it from Lindy Stitches, and it was super easy. I was able to do it in an afternoon. This finish took like absolutely no time. I do have some crushed walnut shells in here along with some polyfill, so it's got a nice weight. And I'm thinking I'm going to take this up to my office to kind of decorate. There is cat hair on it, so it is an authentic piece if you were wondering. But yeah, I thought it turned out pretty cute for a little tiny pillow, and I'm really happy with it. My next FFO I'm even more happy with than I am with the pillow finish. It's my first ever drum, again, a tutorial that I finished with Vonna Pfeiffer. This was actually a whip in my last video, so I finished it and I FFO'd it. Actually, the day after I posted my video. Ah! Look how freaking cool it is! It's a drum! It was actually fairly easy to follow her tutorial. I will say, I feel like I need to put a whole lot more batting on top of mine. But let me tell you about what this is. This is a Forbidden Fiber Company pattern. It was in their Discovery of Witches mini kit that came out in March. The pattern is called Absence and Desire, and I stitched mine with the called for Forbidden Fiber Company flosses on 18 count Dovetail Aida, also by Forbidden Fiber. I started this on March 14th, and I half finished it on March 17th, meaning I just stitched the words, and I thought that was going to be it. But I went through and I added in all of the gold symbols when I realized I wanted to do a drum finish, just so the drum would be a little bit taller. I mean, it's a good sized drum. It's the size of my head. And it turned out so cool. So yeah, there's just some interfacing against the Aida, and then I sewed it into a tube, and then I cut out some circles of foam core, and I stuffed the hell out of it. It's a little lumpy, but actually not too bad. It's solid. I wish I had done more batting, like I said, on the top. It's just not as domed as I'd like it to be. The top and the bottom fabric is a moth fabric from Teresa Kogut's line as well. I thought it kind of added the spooky witches vibe. And it reads, it begins with absence and desire. It begins with blood and fear. It begins with a discovery of witches, which if you've read the Discovery of Witches series, it's a fairly important quote. But yeah, I really love how it turned out. I think I want to put some lace or some pom-poms around the top. But not bad for my first ever drum, and it's pretty cool. I have some other pieces that I think I'd like to finish as a drum now, but I'm very, very happy with it. And thank you, Vonna Pfeiffer, for your tutorials that are so easy to follow. As long as you have a sewing machine and a couple hours, you can do this. I mean, it was pretty time consuming, but it turned out really cool. And yeah, I'm super happy with it. Now it can go sit on my bookshelf with all of my Discovery of Witches books. I need to get a really cool picture of my books with this for my Instagram, but I haven't done that yet because I just finished this. So yeah, that's that one. So those are my only FFOs this week. I plan on having some more soon, but we'll see. I don't have any FFO plans, I guess, for the next week, unless something changes. So yeah, that's it. I have a finish. It is an amazing finish, and it's probably no surprise if you watched my whip parade. It was my oldest whip that is now a finish. I'm so sad that it's done, but it absolutely is stunning. It's Quaker Pumpkins by Hello from Liz Mathews. I'll let you look at it. It is impossible for me to get this thing and myself in the frame at the same time. So let's get a close-up. Oh my gosh, look at the variegation! I can't see what I'm doing, so I really hope that's in frame. But yeah, it's a finish. I started this on September 3rd of 2021, and I finished it on May 30th of 2022. And I used all of the called for Weeks Dye Works flosses on, oh, there we go, I can get both, on a 28 count Faun Lugana from Picture This Plus. This was my first ever even weave fabric and first ever non-aida stitch. I wish I had done this on a 36 or a 40, but here we are, it's done on a 28. Liz Mathews, you are a genius, and your stitches are so amazing. And your colors are so great. I just want to stare at this forever. So yeah, she's all done. I did order a custom frame for her off of a recommendation from Stitches by Shelby here on YouTube. She's bought a couple frames from Custom Frame Solutions, and they were having a 45% off sale. So I went through and measured it, and I have a custom frame coming because this size is super weird. It's just like a really cool beveled black frame. I think it's gonna look really good with this. And this will go up in September as part of my decor. Yeah, it's done. I really can't believe it. I feel like I've been working on this project for forever, and I really have. Almost my entire stitchy journey, I've been working on this piece. But it's done. I think I gave you all the information you needed on it, but if you want more details, just let me know. I mean, look at that. Look at the variegation. Anyway, I'm super happy with it. I'm really jazzed that that's finished and that it can be framed and hung up, although, and it frees me up to work on some of my other whips. So kind of exciting. That was the only thing I finished. Everything else I FFO'd or is still a whip. So let's do my new starts next. So it's June, which means it is Pride Month. And Modern Folk Embroidery, Jacob at Modern Folk Embroidery words, is doing a Pride stitch along. The pattern is part of the proceeds for the pattern are being donated to charity. Oh my gosh, I cannot speak. Part of the proceeds for this pattern are being donated to charity, so that's awesome. He has a monochromatic version and a rainbow version. I'm doing the monochromatic version, but I started this on June 1st. Hold on, I gotta get my needle minder back on here. It's being a bit of a bug, but it's such a good needle minder. I have to show you. Here's my start. It's not very big, but my pattern or my fabric choice makes this not very big of a piece. This is a 46 count over the moon linen from Color and Cotton. It's my first time stitching on Color and Cotton linen, and it looks amazing. It's so buttery soft and great to work with. I really want to be in the Color and Cotton Fabric of the Month Club, but I can't get in because it's really difficult. And the floss that I'm using, again, it's monochromatic. I'll picture of what it looks like here. I'm using Forbidden Fiber Company's Dark Cherry, which is so cool. Sorry, getting used to my new filming setup. So yeah, I mean, this was a good like 2 days of solid stitching. The design is only going to be like 6 inches square on this fabric because of the 46 count. I'm sorry for all the hoop marks. Look at my needle minder. It's David Rose from Schitt's Creek. I figured it was perfect for a Pride Sal. But yeah, the inside says "Move forward in love," which is such a cute quote. And I am in love with how this is turning out. Jacob at Modern Folk Embroidery is a genius. His stitches are so cool. I have a couple Modern Folk Embroidery whips going right now, but I really like being able to just like start stitching and know you don't have to change colors. I'm really into the monochromatic pieces right now. So yeah, and I have mine in this awesome new project bag that I got from Little Boat 88. I know I talked about them in my whip parade, but I placed another order of project bags a couple weeks ago and they finally came in, and these Tula pink roses are just absolutely stunning. I am so in love with this project bag, and she threw in a little thread bed, which was so kind. So this is living in this really bright colored bag. And that was my June 1st start. My other new start is Memorial Day by Hands On Design, and I will put a picture up here. I started this on Memorial Day. Memorial Day was actually my grandmother's birthday, my grandmother who passed away recently, and she loved Americana stuff. Being born on Memorial Day, it was kind of like one of her things. So this pattern was a good fit for her birthday, and then also just to have something to stitch on like the 4th of July, and my mom wants some patriotic decor, so I'm working on that for her, and here's my start. Hoop is still on it. I hope you don't mind. So yeah, here's where I'm at. I have this flag, all of the red is done, and I'm just working on filling in the white. I started this post. That little tie makes me so happy, and I don't know why. And then I'm starting on the text. The only changes I'm planning on doing on this pattern, I am planning on recharting the middle flag, which instead of hanging this way, hangs horizontally. I'm recharting that to be a Texas flag because I live in Texas. And it's a fairly easy conversion to make. I have the Sulky thread pack for this, so I am stitching it with that on an 18 count Cornflower Aida from Fiber on a Whim. I was totally inspired to stitch this on blue fabric from Megan at Georgia Girl Stitching. I know she's taking a bit of a break right now for exams, but she's doing hers on this lovely, lovely light blue fabric, and I decided to do mine on a blue fabric too. And actually it's a good thing for the Texas flag conversion, otherwise the white wouldn't have stood out enough. But yeah, it's going pretty good. I've only worked on this for like 3 or 4 days, but I did make a whip go board. It is a mid-year whip go board, so half of it has already been called, even though I haven't worked on any of those pieces. So I fudged my whip goes for June. I made them both of my new starts, and my goal is to get a page finish on each before the end of the month. So I'm well on my way on Memorial Day, and I'm about halfway done with a page finish on Move Forward in Love. So I'm doing pretty good on my goals so far. We're not even halfway through June. So yeah, this bag is from Creative Carol Designs on Etsy. I love this Lori Holt Red Daisies print, and it looks great. So those are my new starts for the month. I don't know if I'm going to start anything else. I have one project kitted up that every time I watch Megan Babauta, the Seattle Stitcher, I want to start it, but I haven't yet. So I'll show that to you later in the haul and plans section of the video. So now let's do whips. So I have 3 whips that I've been working on since I filmed my last video. So in the last 2 weeks, I have 2 pieces. This one is Bushel and a Peck by La Di Da. Here's what it looks like. I started mine, when did I start it? I started mine on May 3rd, and I am stitching mine for my mom hopefully for her birthday, which is on Tuesday. I don't actually think I'll get it done by June 14th, but you know, what are you gonna do? Just family of stitchers knows they can't actually expect their gifts on their birthdays. We never have stuff done. Well, I try, but what are you gonna do? So here's where I'm at. I'm stitching mine on 40 count Mallow Linen by Zweigart, which is this lovely kind of oatmeal-y fabric. It looks really good with the primness of this design. I am doing mine with 2 of the called for and then a partial conversion for the rest. The green and the brown black are the called for DMCs, and I am recharting the flowers to be Forbidden Fiber Company's Holly Holy, and the gold is now DMC 680. Those 2 were just what I had, number 1. But this red is a little bit more plummy, and I thought it fit a little bit better with the piece. The called for red is a little bit more of a true red. And then the called for gold is more green, and I wanted it to be more true gold. So those are the changes that I've made here. I'm working this in a Nurge hoop. I have been really liking these, honestly. I wish I could get the fabric just like a smidge tighter, but the biggest size fits in my Lowry stand so much better than my Q-snap does. So when I'm working on my Mirabilia, I love working in these Nurge hoops because it clamps onto my my Lowry so much better than Q-snaps do. So yeah, I have color completed the greens since I saw you last. It was like that little bit and that little bit. So it wasn't a whole lot of green left. So that's all done. And I'm working on color completing the red flowers. This is a really good piece for color completion just because it's pretty easy to follow all of the vines. Once I do that, I'm going to do the gold, and then I'll do, there's like, here, I'll show you. There are these little brown specks inside the flowers. So I'm going to color complete the, excuse me, the purple and the gold, and then I'll start working on the border and filling in those X's. So yeah, I'm going to color complete for the rest of this, but it's going really fast. I mean, in one day I was able to do both of the flowers, which I guess doesn't seem like a whole lot, but it's 40 count, so they're small. Yeah, I really love this stitch. I think it's so pretty, and the sentiment behind it is really, really nice. I'll show you my flosses up close. I have these on floss drops from Adam Hart Cross Stitch. I just love her acrylic thread hearts, and those are my colors all together. So yeah, they look pretty good. I've double folded the green because it's done. Actually, I can probably put that back in my stash, I should say. My needle minder is from Rebel Stitcher, or Rebel Stitches. I think Rebel Stitcher. A little mixing bowl. My mom and I like to cook together, so that's why I picked that needle minder for that piece. My next whip, let's do my chatelaine. So I started, I got 2 chatelaines kitted up at European Cross Stitch. I got a mini one, and then I got the medieval town mandala. But I wanted to start the mini one just to kind of get myself familiar with the process of beading, because I'm not super familiar with it, and also start learning specialty stitches and working with Krynic and all of those things. I thought working on a smaller design would be a good, like, get my feet wet before I started working on my bigger chatelaine. So this one is kitted up with all the called for NPIs and beads and all of the things that I got from European Cross Stitch. This is Mini Mystery Mandala number 3. I was just on their website and I thought it looked kind of cool, so I got it. And here is where I'm at. I've gotten a lot done since I saw you last. So in my whip parade, here, it's easier for me to talk from this side. I only had to that red line done. So I've built out this entire diamond. I've started in on the beading, and I got all of that gold Krynic in. Oh my gosh, it is absolutely stunning. It's not picking up as well on camera as it does in person, but holy cow, I really wasn't sure about this design when I started it. I kind of was hating it, and now that I've gotten all of the Krynic and the beads, and I am beading as I go on this one, I haven't finished this page. So this center motif, once I get all of the beads in, that is page 1. So I've almost got a page finished. This is on a 28 count mushroom lugana that I got in a Stitch Quarterly box from the Fat Quarter Shop. Matching project bag and needle minder. I'm just not stitching tea time on this. I'm stitching my chatelaine. So I am going to start doing this on chatelaine Wednesdays, but I worked on this on like a Friday. So yeah, it looks so cool in person. I wish it was picking up the same way. But yeah, this will be the majority of the pattern. It's a giant square, so, well, not really giant. It's gonna have a good margin on this piece of fabric, but yeah. As the center diamond is done, I will feel a lot better. So, I mean, these flosses are absolutely great. I love working on it. It's a lot easier than I thought it was gonna be. I guess I'd hyped myself up on chatelaines. I am still really intimidated. I'm working on the big one just because I want to bead as I go so that it doesn't get super overwhelming, but I also don't really like working on scroll frames. I don't know if it's just because I haven't found one that has tension that I like. So I don't know. If you have any tips for working on chatelaines not in a scroll frame, or if you think a scroll frame is necessary, I have one. I just don't like it. Like, it's too loose. The tension isn't great. I really like a drum type fabric. But I know that moving the Q-snap and stuff when you started beading can be a little difficult. So I don't know. Let me know. So I started that on May 19th. I think I forgot to mention. So I've only worked on it for 3 days and I've already gotten the middle motif done. So it's working up pretty fast. I'm very, very happy with it. So I only have one more whip to show you, and it is my Mirabilia. I have gotten really, really good progress on this ever since I started making this my Sunday project. For a while, like, I didn't touch it for a couple months. So here she is. This is, ooh, glare, sorry. This is At the Met from Mirabilia. I am stitching her as called for, but on a fabric that I hand dyed myself. So thank you for all of your sweet comments on my dye job. It's really not that great, but it turned out cool. So here's where I'm at. So let me fold this fabric and get you a little closer up. So since I've seen you last, I can't remember if I stitched more. Oh my gosh, hold on. She's so big. She's on a 28 count fabric that I dyed myself. So she's huge. I started her on January 1st. She's my new year, new start. I know I came over here and started working in the skirt more. I think I got the entirety of this outline finished. I don't think I had filled in that yet. I can't remember if I filled in that part of the skirt before I talked to you or not. I also worked some over here and filling it in. I think my goal, so today that I'm filming is Sunday. So I think I'm going to try and work in more of her skirt here, but I might get bored and move on to her belt. But yeah, she's stitching up really well and I really like her. I have like 8 other Miras that I really want to start, but I'm limiting myself to 1 at a time. So if you're interested in seeing how I store my floss for my Miras, here's what I have. Again, Adam Hart cross stitch thread drops, and this is all of the called for DMC and Karen water lilies. Yeah, looks really nice all together like that. Gosh, that one is just like a highlighter green. So yeah, that's what I have here. I will say my threads are getting a little tangled in the bottom of my project bag. I'm using one of these Mad for plaid bags from the Fat Quarter Shop because the gusset is really large, so it can hold all of my stuff really well, because she has a lot of beads and things. So I really like this project bag for her, but I really like working on her every Sunday. I feel like I'm getting good progress in, and then I actually am working towards a finish on her rather than her just kind of sitting there taunting me. I know Olivia at Pumpkin Hollow Quilts talks about her, some of her projects like taunting her from their basket, and I definitely get it. So those are all of my whips for this section. I do have some haul to show you, but I know some people aren't a huge fan of haul. So if you don't want to see my plans and my haul, totally fine. I will see you in my next video. Thank you for watching. But if you're interested in haul, I have a good chunk of it. So let's do that, yeah? Okay, so I think I need to start with this one first. This piece of haul is entirely your fault, Megan Babauta, the Seattle stitcher. She has so many cute needle minders from Mad for Minders, and so I went on and ordered some because she had my favorite Outlander quote on Claire's red dress. Not the meek and obedient type. It's not showing up super well on camera. I can't get it to focus. But anyway, I ordered a whole bunch of needle minders. I have them on this magnet board that goes on my Lowry stand, just for ease of showing. But they're really cool. I love this wooden Tudor rose. Oh my gosh. I have Tudor, I think it's called the Tudor Rose Biscornu from Heartstring Samplery on my want to start list, and so that's gonna be the perfect needle minder for that. She has all these cute cat ones and this little Art Nouveau and the cactus and the stack of Outlander books. This is the one that prompted this purchase. I saw this on Seattle Stitchers, Miss Bingley's library, and I had to have it. So anyway, I just bought the rest of them. There's a Hamilton one. I think they're so cool. And now that I've shown them to you, they can go in projects because I have projects in desperate need of cuter needle minders. So that's that. I got a couple patterns. I've been slowly picking up some of the Mirabilias that I like just because I don't want them to go out of print before I have a chance to snag them. So I got Ophelia. This is a newer release, but she's so pretty. Okay, this is easier on this side. Yeah, she's absolutely stunning. And I got Cinderella. I really want to start her. I actually think she's going to look really good on Blank Slate from Leo and Roxy. So we will see. And then I got my unicorn chart. I found this on an eBay bid and I was the winner on it. This is Autumn Queen. It's so surreal to have her. I think she's absolutely stunning, and I really, really, really want to work on her. But I need to finish up them at first. So yeah, those were my 3 Miras that I picked up. The next one that I really want to get is Venetian Opulence and Stargazer. So those will probably be, I'll just throw one in with my next 1, 2, 3 stitch order whenever that happens. I also got a few things from the Top Knot Stitcher shop. This is my, I'm part of the auto ship club for the Cottage Garden Samplings Year in the Woods series. So this is number 7, the Bald Eagle. I think I'm going to start this for my grandfather, just because it kind of fits his aesthetic and I think he'll really like it. So I need to finish the fox first though. Only one from that series at a time. And then I got some 36 count Barb's Blend linen from R&R. This is just a fat quarter, but I really wanted this for Winter Rose Manor. I have that. I just need to kit it up, but I think I'll start that closer to winter. But I really like that pattern. I got some thread bobbins from Adam Hart Cross Stitch. I already broke into these because they're really pretty. They're this pink purple glitter. I haven't tried her bobbin style yet. They kept selling out before I could get my hands on them. But I think my plans for these, I want to put my Mirabilia threads on this because I feel like they're getting a little tangled in my bag. But I am going to make a project keeper from Tiger Lily Designs to put these in, and I'm going to try that. Because then if I'm working on one color, I can just pull it out and work on it like a thread drop and then put it back in there, and it'll be a little bit more protected since she is like a long-term project. So I got 2 bags of those. There's like 25 in each one because there's 26 threads in my Mirabilia, of course, so I had to buy 2 packages. But they were discounted because they're a little cloudy. I don't mind that at all. I think they look fine. My next bit of haul, I am part of the Color and Cotton Thread Clubs. So if you don't want spoilers for the June 2022 Color and Cotton Thread Club, look away now. I will tell you when to look back. I do 3 skeins of their neutrals and 3 skeins in all colors because that's what I could get my hands on. And here they are. Here's the all colors. It's Bing Cherry, something else and something else. They're really cool neutrals. I'm really excited to have Bing Cherry. I'm wanting to do a Color and Cotton conversion of Christmas Garden from Blackbird Designs, but I want mine to be a bit brighter. It's a bit more neutral in the design, so I think I'm going to try and plug that in and see how that looks. And then for the neutrals, here they are. It's a really like pretty denim-y blue and a green and a brown. So yeah, that's my Color and Cotton thread of the month. I'm super excited. I really want to build up my Color and Cotton stash so that I can do some conversions myself. And the threads are just so nice. They're the closest to silk without being actual silk. I got a couple velveteens from Lady.Creates so that I could make some more pillows. And then I got some pom-pom trims as well, just so that I could, you know, build up my stash of Lady Dot. So that's that. I got my fabric for the Fangirl Fibers A Cord of Thorns and Roses Fabric Club. I get a fat quarter of 28 count, and this is Throwing Bones. It's a really good neutral. Again, I wish it wasn't 28 count, but the Cord of Thorns and Roses got me. This is a really great piece though. I don't know what I'm going to put on it yet, but there's that. So that's my, I think those are all of the club things I've gotten. I got, this is so cute. I got the Summer in Sunnydale box from Forbidden Fiber. I am a big Buffy the Vampire Slayer fan. I am Team Angel all of the way, so fight me if you want to, but that's just where I'm at. I was so excited for these patterns, and this project bag is super cute. It's got a really nice gusset, which is great because there's actually 4 patterns in this box, and I ordered the floss to complete them. So if you don't want spoilers for what it looks like, feel free to look away. This is Primeval Hand, Primeval Heart, Xander, Spirit, which is Willow, and Mind, which is Giles. So I have not decided yet if I'm going to be stitching these as individual pillows or as one piece. I have the 25 count Lugana in the color Chosen, which is such a pretty neutral. I am going to be stitching this 1/1 on the 25 count, so they're going to be pretty small, which is why I think they'd be good pillows, but then I also kind of want to display them together, so I haven't decided yet, but look at this. Look at all of the flosses! I will say it did cost a bit to get them all done, because it's like, I mean, each one of these is a thread pack on its own. The pinks and purples were the ones that came in the box. So these were the box colors. If you don't want spoilers, look away. The rest of them are just permanent collection forbidden fiber, but they match each pattern. So I have all of that on a ring, and I feel like once these patterns are done, I just added so much to my forbidden fiber company stash. I've got a pretty good rainbow going here. If that interests you, then check these patterns out. I'm super excited. They had, here, let me see if I can grab the needle minder from the bottom of this bag. The needle minder is hilarious. If you are a Buffy fan, you know of Team Angel, Team Spike. So the needle minder is double-sided, Angel and Spike. I think that's absolutely hilarious and adorable, and Forbidden Fiber is a genius for doing that. They had a little wooden stake that I think you can see on the Buffy pattern. Yeah, it's actually a hair stake, like a little chopstick for your hair. I think that was super cute. I have no idea how to use it. I keep trying and my hair keeps falling out, but I love it. It's so 90s. And the bag is great. So I'm super excited to have these patterns. A close family friend of mine actually wants to start watching Buffy on Sundays. So I might start stitching that when we're watching Buffy. I think it prompts a rewatch. Okay, I only have one more thing in my haul, and then I promise I'm done. I got some more bags from Little Boat 88. Like I said, the roses one that my Move Forward in Love piece is in is part of this haul, but here's the rest of them. I got this adorable cat print with some sewing notions on the inside, and it came with the thread bed again. So cute. I love that. Then I got this one, which is actually Vera Bradley fabric, which I think is hilarious. But I love it. It's got this gorgeous gingham on the inside. It's going to be great. I got this one, which I didn't see the little fairies. They're not my jam, but it's fine. I like the rest of the fabric, and I can kind of ignore them. So there's that one. Okay, and then this one, I actually have a kit in this project bag. This is absolutely stunning. Look at that. Flowers and the butterflies. Okay, so this kit, I need some help. I have been staring at this pattern every time, not to mention her again, but the Seattle Stitcher has been stitching, Megan has been stitching Plum Street Samplers Miss Bingley's Library, and I am obsessed with it. Every time she pulls it out, I just want to work on it, so I kitted it up. However, I'm having issues figuring out what fabric I want to do this on. So I have all of the called for flosses right here, which are a mix of Weeks and Classic Colorworks. But I have two fabrics in my stash that I thought would work really well for this. This is 40 count Platinum, which I thought the called for kind of looks nice on. It's definitely more of a neutral brown gray. It's a little darker than it's showing up on camera, but I thought that would look good. But I also had this one that I thought might look interesting. I don't know though. This is 36 count Ballet Slippers by Fox and Rabbit. The only thing is the skin tone is about the same as this one. It's definitely more pinky, but the rest of the called for colors look great on it. So I'm gonna have to like alter the skin tone to be a little bit more white than apricot. But I don't know. Let me know, which one do you like better? Do you like the Fox and Rabbit, or do you like the other one for Miss Bingley's Library? I want to start that soon because I'm like really in love with the quote and the little, like, I just love it. It's a great pattern. I have it in a bag all ready to go. I have fabric options and the call for flosses. I just don't know which one to stitch it on, and I'm having such a hard time deciding. So chime in, let me know what you think. That that was a lot. That was a lot in 40 minutes, at least 40 minutes of filming. I think by the time I edit it down, it'll be a little shorter. Let me check all of my stuff. That's everything. I guess plans. I want to keep working on my 2 new starts, Memorial Day and Move Forward in Love. I have another finish from a couple months ago that I'd like to turn into a pillow if I get some FFO time. I'd like to page finish my chatelaine, and then I'll probably put that away for a little bit and start working on something else. Work some more on bushel and a peck. Maybe throw in another new start if I feel like it. I don't really have any super solid plans besides, you know, the page finishes on those 3 projects. I'd like to get those done. I'm having a ball over here on Flosstube. Filming these videos is so much more fun than I thought it would be, and I'm so thankful and grateful for all of you who have continued to watch me and who are invested in my journey. You're so nice. So thank you. I hope you liked what you saw today. Go check me out on Instagram if you'd like to. Send me a message, drop me a comment, say hi. What were you working on today when you were watching me? Yeah. So thank you very much, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys.